Now look at that freaking mess here. I moved the whole wiring from those hooks up there, and I want to have them all separated, cleaned. Want to get the whole power cords away from the audio cords. Did some couple of changing here in the rack. Moved the preamps down and the compressors up there for the subgroups. And I think it will take some couple of hours to get everything clean and hooked up again. But I think it's worth it. So let's have a look behind there. Just it didn't look that before. I just took everything apart and just laid it on the ground. It was all behind the rack. So there's really a lot of cables. Well, I think I better get started with that. And I'm back in business soon, probably by tomorrow. Okay, seems like I made it. Cleaned up the whole mess, everything vacuum cleaned and so forth. So those are the quarter-inch cables for the tape resonance, the snakes. Have patch cables here, got normal instrument quarter-inch cables. Those are insert cables, computer cables, XLR cables, standard RCA for, I don't know, tape stuff and so forth. And a huge pile of power cables and adapters. So, next step is to label everything. I think I'm gonna make a list where I put all numbers on every cable, so if I have to swap them out once again, I pretty much know what cable goes to what, for example compressor, effect units and so forth. And then I'm gonna reconnect the cables to the rack and to the mixing board and probably get it very nice and clean with this kind of hooks that I got from IKEA, which is a cable holder that you can screw underneath the desk. And well, let's see how that works out. So those are the cables that I don't need anymore in my setup. I cleaned everything out that I really don't need, and I'm pretty happy with it. Let's look underneath the desk. Everything is now tightly fitted into this IKEA cable holder. Works really well. So that's now the back of the rack. I tried to separate the audio and the power cables to one side, so power cables on the left and all the audio cables on the right. And here is the cable holder underneath, right there the console, the back of the console. And as you can see, no cables on the floor except the network cable out of the wall. Everything up there, exactly what I wanted. Made a couple of routing changes on the console too. So I got now two inputs always connected with the preamps. So for a quick start or something like that. I changed a little bit the bus setting for the groups. So I have now one to the drum bus. I got a guitar bus with the older Alesis compressor and the vocal parallel for parallel compression and the Alesis 3632. And group 7-8 is now for the Fostix tape, which is that old guy here. Depends if I want to use it, I can record with that too. And also some changes on the monitor section. So when I record, or when I have the recording template open, just switch to the main mix to monitor, And in the mixing stage I activate then the 2-track, and if I record with the Fostex, I have it connected to the external input, just press tape. So works pretty well so far. And now here is the list. I'm probably gonna type it into the computer and make an Excel sheet with it. There's basically all the cables with numbers. I labeled all the cables, and I have the inputs and outputs. So I have an accurate overview of all the different cables and inputs and outputs. It was pretty much work, didn't expect it. However, I'm very pleased with that now. So, just a quick overview of the whole setup. Cables again, to the left out. Changed also some rack slots. We got now the groups all above the preamps, and yeah. So that's basically it. And boy, it took nearly one day to finish this whole setup again. But I'm happy.